Yes, good afternoon everybody and welcome to RailFreight Fridays of 11th of March. And with me is Arie van Dijk.
Hi, good afternoon everybody.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for being here.
Sure.
And we're here to discuss or wrap up the week.
Yeah, a lot going on, right, Majorie?
A lot's going on, but it's also a lot of the same. We're actually still talking about Ukraine.
Yeah, of course, a lot of disruptions in the supply chains.
Yeah, we have actually been talking about more or less the same for the last 3 weeks now. It's the new Silk Road. It is impacted by the war in Ukraine. But we also get a lot of questions because there's a lot of confusion about it. Is it disrupted? Is it impossible? What exactly is possible? Is it allowed? This is still the question we're getting. And we are surprised by that because we tried to solve that during our webinar. We thought we solved it, but we now know that there's still... What do you mean
with solving?
Because during the webinar, we had a sanction lawyer. We explained that actually it is possible. So if you look technically... It is possible
to use the Silk Road at this time?
It is possible. Okay. So there are no sanctions that are preventing you from doing business with Russian railways. And that was a misconception, and a lot of people thought so. It's not true. You can still do it, but...
And also a lot of ethical debates, right?
Yes. So a lot of people are actually not wanting to go on the Silk Road. So that is the big... difference here, that a lot of companies are choosing not to, either because they're finding it a risk or they're morally against using the route through Russia at the moment. And that is a market development that is really getting bigger and stronger. And I don't know about numbers. We haven't seen official figures about that yet, but I've done some calling and talking with people, and we hear about numbers like 70%, 50%. So that's really huge.
And how do you feel in general about it? Because when I know a couple of years when the Silk Road really kicked off, we had a lot of talk about, okay, you go through all these countries to reach Asia, and it's like really exotic, and does that work? Now, I think the Silk Road has proven that it works, and it has built in confidence over the last couple of years. It's getting bigger and bigger. And now we have this huge political crisis and war, of course, what is going on, and it impacts the Silk Road. But do you think those people in hindsight were right, or is this just a temporary hiccup?
I think it's temporary because everybody is just as upset about it as we are. I think it's just a pity. It's business and people were in that business. Just imagine it's your daily business and suddenly you cannot do that anymore, or you decide not to do it but for very good reasons. In the end, it's still your business that you have to change. Okay. So I do think it's coming back, but I think it will take a while before the situation is stable.
Nobody can see in the future. Everybody, of course, hopes, and I think all our viewers also hope the war will end soon, but who knows? But
the appetite for the Silk Road is not any less at the moment. I really notice that everybody is just really frustrated and upset about it. Yeah. It's not that they don't like the Silk Road, they just have to take a stance, have to take a moral decision, or they just don't have the demand. The customer doesn't want it. So people are searching for alternatives. The middle corridor is an alternative. A lot of companies are offering that route via Turkey right now.
How serious is that?
It is serious, considering that big companies are offering it. But the question is, how much can it take? It cannot take, for sure, the same amount of cargo that's on the main route. That we already established.
But if I'm a shipper, can I call my freight forwarder right now and say, I want to use the middle corridor, make it happen?
Depends on your freight forwarder, but a lot of big companies are now offering additional services via that middle corridor, and they're announcing new combinations even and new partnerships. For example, Nunner and Duisburg announced a bypass via Turkey, and they not only took the Caspian Sea, but they also took another sea leg towards the port of Trieste in Italy, and from there another train to Europe.
I have to say, this is what I really like about the entrepreneurial minds, hearts and minds in the freight business, that everybody's so flexible and moving all the time and changing circumstances. I think that's what makes us big.
True, that's what logistics is all about. That's exactly what they do. And that is actually what DB Cargo said. Logistics get things to where they are needed. This is what they're good at. And it's not only about just providing additional services, but a lot of logistics companies are also setting up humanitarian corridors. So this is one example. DB Cargo has set up a connection together with DB Schenker, one of its sister companies, to provide humanitarian aid to Ukraine, and they're not the only ones.
And where does the train go? Really to the Ukraine, or?
Yeah. Okay. So it goes via Poland, and from Poland into Ukraine, because that border is still open.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, excellent.
So that is a good development.
Good to see logistics from the best side, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what does this mean in terms of rates? So there's less cargo, most probably right now. How does that develop?
Well, we heard several people saying that the rates are going up or either going down. We don't know yet. There are no official statistics yet. What we do know is that delay days are decreasing. That was actually an interesting figure that was shown by Jackie Yan from New Silk Road Intermodal, a Chinese forwarder. And he put on LinkedIn an update where he showed that the delay minutes are going down, which means better transit time.
But it's good, right?
That's a good positive side effect of having less volume.
How do you think it's because of less volume?
I think so, yeah. Okay. Because it was a very congested corridor last year, and a lot of people complained about bad transit times, waiting times, because there was just too much volume. So it's not a luxury that we have a little less for a little time. Of course, it should not drop down completely to what we think is 70%, but this is not bad. This is a positive side effect, I think.
Silver lining.
Yes.
Okay, and also, but we're also hearing a lot of, especially here in Western Europe, energy prices are going crazy. Yes. How's that developing rail freight in general? Well,
actually, there was one post of a partner today. There was an email sent out by our partner Furlog, and it was the first time I heard about it, that the fuel prices are going up, and this will be seen in the total price of logistics. They do mention that, fortunately, our transport services cover most of the distance by rail. This means that it will only be affecting roads, so it will affect the total price less. But this is happening. And I think this is only the first of a movement that's going to happen. So we should observe this. Fuel prices will go up also because the supply from Russia is disrupted. And the total supply chain is disrupted. So you will always notice that in the rates.
Okay.
Now, by the way, about the middle corridor, we do organize a webinar on Wednesday. This time about the alternatives.
This Wednesday?
This Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, okay. Yeah.
Yes, in 5 days from now. 10 o'clock local time, Dutch time. This time it will not be about the sanctions and the technical possibilities, but it will be about what if you don't want to use Russia for whatever reason, what do you have? So which options do you have? And it will focus on the route via Turkey into Europe and all the possible...
and then we can talk also about volumes and what's the possibility of the Silk Road through the middle corridor. So if you want to know more about the middle corridor, you want to know which parties are active, register for the webinar right now.
Yeah, it's not on the website yet today. It will be on the website, and then you can register for free. For
free, wow, yes. I like that.
Yes. There is still good news, and there is more good news. Arie, this is actually something I want to ask you. What is this RailFreight Summit Special Edition? Yeah,
for sure. Well, okay, we all know it. The industry is going crazy. We've just been talking about it. So a lot of changes. Our plans was to go to Lithuania next month and to go to the Ukraine in June. Well, we scrapped that because of obvious reasons. And now we've decided to pull the industry together in the European capital in Brussels. And we're going to talk about what's going on in the total rail freight. So we're going to talk about the Silk Road, for sure, big part, big important topics to debate. Also the ethical discussion, you want to use the Silk Road. I think it's very much open for debate, so let's talk about that. But we're also going to talk about freight. What does it mean that the energy prices are going crazy? What does the sanctions mean for your supply chain? How flexible are you and how can we anticipate on that? And that's everything we're going to talk about on the April 6th. So we invite you all to be there. It will not be a festive because it's, of course, a very sad way to talk about it. But I think it's very critical that we come together as an industry and find solutions for the supply chain problems we are facing. Yeah,
because that is actually something that we have inherited from our events, that we have this community, and this community includes people from all over the world. So in my belief, there is no change in that, and I really hope that this is going to be reflected in this event, that people from all over the world will join us. Doesn't matter where you're from, which side you're on, should just discuss business at this event.
Exactly. So if you're a policymaker, or you're a shipper, or a freight forwarder, or an operator, or whatever, you're in rail freight or interested in rail freight, make sure you are there. You can either come physically to Brussels and meet us, or you can visit online. We've got a lot of online participants already. It will be a great interactive event, and together we can fix the supply chain once again, I think.
Hopefully. Let's try so. All right, then for now, let's enjoy the weekend.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye.